Welcome to Cosmic Roadmap. I'm your host, Melissa Lambor, Reiki Astrogeoguide and author. I support endless wanderers with where they are meant to be in the world. This podcast is for the digital nomad, the avid traveler, and aspiring globetrotter who is seeking their next destination on planet Earth. Join us as we venture around the world through people's stories and how astrogeography has connected them to their planetary energies and purpose. Welcome to Cosmic Roadmap, where we dive into astrogeography and the incredible stories of people following their planetary energies around the world. I am your host, Melissa Lambor, Reiki Astrogeoguide and author. This first episode, I'm sharing a glimpse into my world and how I use astrogeography to explain our unlikely cosmic connections. I'll be sharing excerpts from my most recent multi-author book, Lineage Speaks. This is the follow-up book to Legacy Speaks, where I spoke about my journey into astrogeography. These books were published by my dear friend and mentor, Bridget Eileen Cisco, owner of Exalted Publishing. Beyond lineage, our cosmic connection. You are a global citizen of the world, connecting us back to the cosmos, irregardless of where our roots have been planted. You remind us that we have always belonged, beyond flesh and bone. I'm so excited for others to receive what you have to offer as you map us back to our Dharma. Jumike. My mentor and past client, Jumike, sums up my work so beautifully. She understands what it feels like to live between two worlds, like most children born to immigrant parents. Sense of belonging is a human need that runs deep in every single one of my astrogeography client sessions. I'm cosmically bonded to Jumike through my moon node line, which runs through southern Thailand. Harnessing the energy on this astrological line brings me closer to my purpose. It's no surprise that it also runs near my partner's homeland of Malaysia. My connection to that land was fated and written in the stars. I first met my Malaysian partner, Faris, while playing Dance Dance Revolution as undergrads at Stevens Institute of Technology. We both loved rock music, killer solos, and listened to November Rain by Guns N' Roses while studying at the library. He always helped me understand engineering principles without undermining my intelligence. He finally won me over with food, which he still does to this day. Our cross-cultural connection sparked my travel bug, and we began traveling very early in our relationship. We traveled to my parents' homeland, Guatemala, to experience the colonial cities, villages, volcanoes, lakes, and the ancient Mayan ruins of Tikal. Faris was a keeper, since he loved street food as much as me. Our next trip was back to his homeland, where I got to experience the warmth of his culture and the food. When his student visa expired, it was time for him to move back to Malaysia. We didn't want to marry just for the sake of getting his green card, so we chose to see how things would go as a long-distance relationship. It was the best decision we ever made, since it allowed us to meet in Europe and Asia during those 3 years. Asia was waiting for me with open arms and food. I've been to Malaysia almost a dozen times, sometimes against Faris's will, but I feel so loved and cared for there. I didn't know back then, but I was tapping into planetary energies that only astrogeography could explain. Mama Aziza, a frail Muslim woman, showed me what unconditional love truly was. Mama Aziza was the grandmother I wish I had. Even as Amat Saleh, a foreigner, she welcomed me into her traditional house in the kampung, the village. The simplicity and richness of the culture had me coming back for more. The land of dragon fruit, mangosteen, sweet fuzzy rambutan, and the unmistakable durian. Why did I feel so at home there? It wasn't even my blood lineage. It was my chosen lineage, or the lineage that chose me, that I was destined to dance with in this lifetime. I'm meant to work with the spirit of my chosen ancestors and the energies of the land, so I may understand the true meaning of bridging cultures. Do you ever meet people and wonder why you're so drawn to them? They may carry or embody the planetary energies you were destined to connect with. Malaysia is my home, my mother, my grandmother, welcoming me back with open arms and food. Damakan? Have you eaten? Guatemala is a neutral zone for me on my astro maps. But Southeast Asia, Hong Kong, and China have major energies related to my home: family, purpose, healing, and transformation. I now understand that you can connect to these planetary energies through people, culture, practices, and objects. Even meditating on these things can allow you to harness the energy of a place. My favorite way to harness the energy of Malaysia is by wearing flowy traditional batik kaftans that caress my skin. I channel every artisan that crafted these textiles. I embody machik energy all the way by enjoying the simplicity of life. And that's pronounced machik, Malay for auntie. I miss going to the mamak food stalls, the bustling market, and hanging out, or lepaking, as the locals call it, until the wee hours of the night. I was blessed with very chill in-laws that took me in, even when I was just dating their son. If seen through the conservative Islamic lens of Malaysia, our relationship could have been problematic and frowned upon. I stuck out like a sore thumb in Southeast Asia, but everyone's curiosity and generosity was endearing. We tend to think that we must be loyal only to our ancestral bonds, but what if they are severed physically or emotionally due to years of pain and generational trauma? When my parents divorced, my paternal family ties were never the same again. The road trips I had loved to plan to Florida became a thing of the past. At 16, around the same time my dad last spoke to me as a teenager, I convinced my mom to take me and my sister to the bus stop in Atlantic City so that the two of us could take the bus down to Fort Lauderdale. Even back then, nobody could say no to my crazy ideas. I wanted to be down in Florida with my father's family, even if my father wasn't around. They were my lifeline and direct access to my cultural identity. Up in New Jersey, I didn't know what Guatemalan culture was outside of making tamales for Christmas and extravagant Sweet 16 parties that felt more like traditional quinceañeras. My Latinness was pieced together from all the other cultures I grew up with in the Spanish-speaking Catholic Church. We'd get authentic Mexican tamales and tacos from downtown Lakewood. I appreciated my multicultural upbringing and the way the Spanish language opened my world beyond New Jersey. I learned the nuances of every country, the way they spoke, and what they ate. I may not have been fully immersed in Guatemalan culture, but I was swimming in a rich caldo of Latinness. Being raised on Lenape land with no direct lineage to my ancestors made reclaiming my indigenous roots difficult. I was also called to other parts of the world where there are planetary energies I was meant to connect with based on astrogeography. I know that with every generation, my ancestors lost touch with their indigenous roots due to colonization as they delved deeper into Catholicism and further away from their ancient practices. Astrogeography connects me back to my ancestors that look to the stars and planets for answers. I reclaim my ancestral connection to the cosmos and divination. I wish to bring astrogeography into the light so I can develop cosmic roadmaps for people worldwide. As I travel the world and work with astrogeography to bridge unlikely cultures, I heal my lineage. We no longer have to make decisions from a place of desperation. We have the choice to heal through our passions. I carry the torch to guide you back to the cosmos and find true belonging. Death and rebirth, shedding identities. With death comes rebirth. 2018 marked the beginning of a new Melissa, while in 2019, I searched for my purpose. Losing Anthony Bourdain and my cousin brought things into perspective. It was my turn to live the life of my dreams, not one that I was expected to follow. My business was birthed at the very moment my identity was completely shattered. Talk about death and rebirth. I was left to pick up the pieces for the rest of the year. I was robbed of my voice, which led me to Egypt to try to heal my throat chakra. 2021 was a devastating inner battle of figuring out what spaces accepted me or not, and being honest about the spaces I wanted to cultivate moving forward. And 2022 will be the year I reclaim all my ancestral wisdom and traditions across the globe. I stand strong as the person I've become against all odds and obstacles. I lean into my medicine without fear of persecution. I feel like I'm constantly shedding identities and roles in order to start anew. I touch upon this concept in my Legacy Speaks chapter, Beyond Labels, Finding Your Place in the World. I honor my ancestral lineage from Guatemala and welcome my chosen family from Malaysia. I am the bridge meant to connect Guatemala to Malaysia, an unlikely pair that I love to call Guatalasia. Guiding you back to the cosmos, belonging. We often think we're stuck or can't change our situation. But the truth is, astrogeography can show you the way and explain why you felt disconnected or drawn to travel the world in search of your home. Finding home beyond your ancestry, especially when you feel called elsewhere. My vision is to bridge cultures and connect people with harmonious energies, regardless of their background or labels. I'm here to guide you back to your cosmic family, the home you never knew existed. Astrogeography will explain why you have cosmic connections around the world with the most unexpected people, cultures, and places. You'll finally align with the planetary energies that you were destined to connect with in this lifetime, since it was written in the stars. My legacy is to help you stop escaping yourself and find peace right where you are. I do this work for every person that has ever felt like an outsider. Every person deserves a place to call home, whether it's on this earth or within their soul, allowing your inner and outer world to reach an equilibrium. As I begin tapping into my unique planetary energies around the world, I realize that some places will bring me to my shadows, while others will bring me to my light. Egypt most recently brought me to the depths of my soul. This poem was born on a sailboat in the middle of the Egyptian Red Sea as I tapped into my cosmic energies of the dolphins, descendants of the star Sirius B, as well as spiritual Neptune, transformational Pluto, and healing Chiron from my astromaps. At that moment, I was actually homesick for Malaysia, not the US. I surely was craving my moon node energy to bring me back to my purpose. I dedicate this to the runner within me and all the endless wanderers that wish to find their cosmic connection. The runner. She stares into the golden sun, wondering where the fun has gone. How did she get here? She feels the waves up against the boat, swaying it back and forth, as she wonders about her worth. She wonders if she deserves this life. Is she dreaming or living this in real life? She wishes to be free so she can see what this world is meant to be. Is she running away or running towards her fate? Like a fish in the sea, drawn to the bait, she gets lured to the wonders of the world. Her adventure has just begun. She can't fathom it ever being done. If you want to read the rest of my chapter and all the other inspiring stories within the book, you can find it on Amazon. All proceeds go to Elamu Girls, an international organization empowering young women in Kenya to become entrepreneurs. If any of these stories resonate, please leave us a review on Amazon. Thank you for listening, and remember, lineage goes beyond your ancestors. You are meant to connect to the cosmos, so you may finally find your cosmic family. Until next time, thank you. Thank you for listening to Cosmic Roadmap. If you're curious about astrogeography and where you're meant to be on the planet, go to cosmicroadmap.com to download your free passport to purpose. You can also book a session with me where we can explore your own cosmic roadmap and chart your next destination in business, love, and life.